Got a few announcements. We'll probably go pretty quick. Joanne Fleming will be our main presenter to tonight's meeting. Joanne, meeting topic, we should talk about the constitutional amendment. Remember last month we met here, we had Commissioner Austin. Commissioner Nichols wasn't Commissioner, Senator Nichols, but they presented their program on the why we ought to vote for the Proposition 1 for funding Texas highways. I'm sure Ms. Fleming will have a comment on that also. If you haven't heard her speak, I mean, she's a pretty dynamic speaker. She's not afraid to ruffle feathers and say what's on her mind. So we're going to have a good time tonight. She'll be available for questions. I know the presentation won't take up our whole time. We'll be able to ask questions. Monday, November 3rd, our next monthly meeting right before Election Day. Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Adcock, he's going to speak to us on terrorism. It should be a very, very interesting program. Look forward to hearing from him next month. We got a lot of empty chairs tonight. Invite your friends, come on out. We need help. And then on the first Monday in December, we're going to have something a little bit different. Speaker's going to be a movie. We're going to have a movie night. And there's a time of gathering and probably eating some snacks and having a good time. Just to kind of lighten it up and hopefully celebrate the midterm election outcome. Saturday, October 18th. Everybody have this on your calendar. This is our one and only Tea Party for the year. Saturday the 18th, be from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. We usually have gone to about 1. We've got a couple extra speakers in the lineup for a really good program. Of course, we'll be headlining with Rafael Cruz. He'll be back in town one more time for us. He likes us. He likes coming here and seeing us and warming up the crowd. So if you've heard him before and think he's a great speaker, invite your friends who haven't heard him. Bring them out to the courthouse on that Saturday. Joanne Fleming also has a Life, Liberty, and Property tour. It's herself and several others will be making various presentations throughout the Tea Party, and so it's all going to be very, very interesting and very good information. What we do need is how many of you are planning to come to that Tea Party? We already prayed it's going to be great weather. All right, we need some folks to help with setting up signs and setting up booths. Probably need a Kool-Aid bomb and things like that. Cindy's got some sign-up sheets at the very back of the room. We need help. Particularly, first thing we need to do is get the signs up and let people know that we're actually having a tea party. It doesn't take too long to do that. Set them up at various corners throughout the city. Cindy's got the signs, and she really needs help. Mike is out of town. He'll be here for the tea party, but he's out of town right now, so she needs help getting these things done. So is there some folks who can help volunteer to do some of this? 2, 3, 4, great. Put your name down on the back so we can get this taken care of. The signs will go up, I think Sunday afternoon and Monday. So please, this is one of these times where we appreciate your talents and time more than a monetary donation. We need to thank Cindy because she puts all this together. She does a great job for us. Some of you may have gotten an email. Some of you may have gotten a postcard. I believe it's this Friday, 6:30 to 9 p.m. up in Gilmer. It's called the Stars of Texas Fall Celebration, Kim Paxton and Friends. It's a little fundraiser that's being put together. As you can see, Louis Gomer will be there, and our local local House representatives, and a few other folks. I can't read their names, but Matt Schaefer from Tyler, and Brian Hughes, and David Simpson, Louis Gilbert. I think the gentleman on the bottom left, I think he's from the Dallas region. And, can't see who the other two are on the bottom. If you want any more information on that, I'd be happy to share it with you after the meeting. Of course, these folks are all looking for your votes this election term. So I think early voting starts on Monday the 20th, I believe, and run throughout the following 2 weeks right before the election, and then election night on November the 4th. So be sure to support your candidates of your choice. We have lots of information available on all these different candidates on our webpage. Pastoral Conference. We've talked about it the last couple of months. We had this large pastoral conference with about 80 people in attendance, hosted by Dan Cummings and Raphael Cruz. We recorded that. If you'd like a DVD recording of that, so you can show your pastor or take it home and show a group of folks, there may be a sign-up sheet in the back where you can get that, or she may have somewhere in the back, but we do have these available for your use. That won't be our movie in December. So what have we been doing the last few months? I just mentioned we had this pastoral conference with Dan Cummings and Raphael Cruz. Our people Tea Party group, we were kind of in the background on that. We didn't put our name out there. We just wanted it to be as apolitical as possible and let those folks speak their heart. Block walks. I got an email this morning that says, "Are you walking? If not, somebody else is." Meaning some of those folks that want to turn Texas a different color. Very, very important, very, very effective. Dr. Farrow and Mike Denholm, they have a little area in the back. We can help meet with them after the meeting tonight and sign up if you're interested in being a block walker. It's very, very easy. They got basically 3 simple steps. I think those might be on the next one. Yeah, visit with newcomers to the area, sign people up, get them registered to vote, and walk the neighborhoods.
Today was the last day to sign up.
Yeah, well, today's last day to sign up for this election. It's still not too late signing up for future elections. You can do that at any time from this point forward. Thank you. But if you can concentrate any efforts on walking a block to go to 20, 30, 50 houses, it makes all the difference in the world. I'll get into our fine print. Let's see. I think this came from Mike. On Thursday, September 18th, the local liberal organizing for Obama put put on an immigration presentation at Mott Cobb. David Simpson was the speaker and showed his slide file of his border visits, as he did several other open meetings that he's held. About 35 people were in attendance. That counted David and a nice police officer at the door. He says this lack of interest was not what the community liberals were expecting. He says of the total of the 35, 16 were Tea Party members, and maybe 6 or 7 were elected officials. So that left about 13 very concerned liberals, or just plain interested citizens, as the total liberal turnout. He says there were maybe 4 that would be considered of Hispanic heritage, and judging by the turnout, it appears that immigration and the border are not such hot topics with the Hispanic community and liberals in general anyway. It's just his observations. Okay, and he's got a little trivia here. Who said this? The budget should be balanced, the treasury should be refilled, public debt should be reduced, the arrogance of elected officials should be tempered and controlled, and the assistance to foreign countries should be curtailed, lest we become bankrupt. People must again learn to work instead of living on public assistance. Now we got four choices here. Did Ted Cruz say this? Did Ronald Reagan say this? Did Bill O'Reilly on Fox say this? Or did maybe Obama say this? How many think Ted Cruz said this? One, two, couple, okay. Ronald Reagan, did he say this? Okay, couple, three more, all right. Bill O'Reilly on Fox. Place is getting popular, okay. What about Obama? Do you think Obama said that? O'Reilly said that? This is a trick question. Cicero, the Roman emperor, in 55 BC, he's actually said that. So we've had a little bit of time pass since he said that. I looked at papers from World War II when I was a little kid as we tore up a couple of old houses and things. I said, man, things are the same. It's just the names and faces that change. Liberals do Nixon-type covering. Clinton State Department people weeded out any Benghazi documents that may have been damaging to Hillary Clinton when she was the head of the State Department. Documents required by law to be given to the U.S. Congress for the probe into the Benghazi fiasco. How many have read about this or heard of this? A few of you? Okay. The former state deputy assistant, Raymond Maxwell, saw the Clinton people doing this on the Sunday afternoon before the documents were to be given to the Congress. He objected, but was told these are our orders. The little basement party covered up documents and information in the same way as Richard Nixon did with Watergate. This is a major scandal. Where's the mainstream media on all of this? Brian Fallon, a senior communications member of the Holder No Justice Department, called Darrell Iss's office Republican chairman for the IRS scandal investigation committee. Fallon thought he was calling Democrat Elijah Cummings' office. Fallon wanted to provide advanced copies of letters and documents to the Democrat House member before giving them to the Republican-led committee. These letters were related to the IRS coordinating Tea Party groups. Fallon wanted the Democrats to have an advanced opportunity to spin the news. Fallon figured out who was calling, now denies this is happening. Where's the mainstream media reporting on this? What would the media be saying if a Republican Department of Justice official? Taxpayers. Taxpayers will shell out $1.7 billion or $1,700 million to build and operate healthcare.gov, according to the watchdog agency overseeing the Department of Health and Human Services. 11 of 33 companies entrusted with making this website work are billing taxpayers much more than their anticipated contracts. 3 of the 33 companies will make more than $200 million each. Do you really need more examples of federal government fraud, waste, and utter misuse of my and your tax dollars? See the following graph for the companies making the biggest money for Obamacare. I don't know if you can read some of these. The top one at the very top is Lockheed Martin, followed by Quality Software Services, and then HP Enterprise Services, and it goes on down. And I don't know what's at the very bottom because it's hidden, but the one that's not at the very bottom is called Pro Telecom LLC. $1 million. Just how rich are the ISIS terrorists? ISIS controls oil fields from Syria and Iraq, working oil fields. They control the production of approximately 80,000 barrels of oil a day. at $100 a barrel is about $8 million per day stolen from Iraq and Syria. ISIS uses this wealth to finance their terror recruitment and campaigns. There's a price break. ISIS sells their oil at a discount at $40 per barrel versus about $95 per barrel in the open market. The oil is sold through middlemen in the Assad machine, looking to gain cash to keep Assad in power. The monthly sale of ISIS oil at $40 a barrel brings in $100 million each month. Ted Cruz for the rescue. Ted Cruz asked for unanimous consent on his bill, the Expatriate Terrorist Act of 2014, that would strip an American of their citizenship if they join a terrorist group like ISIS. Cruz stated these American citizens are fighting alongside ISIS terrorists today and may come back to America tomorrow with their U.S. passport. They have shown they are willing to kill as many Americans as they can, whenever they can. As a Democrat, Senator Mazie Hirono of Hawaii objected. She said the bill has not been brought before the Senate Judiciary Committee and it should be given full deliberation of the Senate. Apparently, this liberal Democrat senator has not problem with voting for Obamacare and numerous other bills that were never brought before the Senate. Will she blame Ted Cruz and the Republicans if ISIS terrorists return to the battlefield in Syria and blow up 747 headed for Hawaii? This is what you get when liberals are looking. He's got more. For those who think that Ted Cruz is not doing anything else in the Senate these days, here's a little of what Ted Cruz has done. He's filed the following amendments to the continuing resolution to fund the government. These amendments were blocked by Senate Democrats. To defund Obamacare, to prevent Obama from taking executive actions, to expand illegal amnesty, to extend the continuing resolution from December 11th to April 2015 to avoid holding a lame duck session, to require Obama to get congressional approval before conducting ongoing military action against ISIS, and extend the no sales tax provision on internet purchases. And then a few media hypocrites. From January to August in the 6th year of George Bush's presidency leading up to the disastrous 2006 elections, the liberal news media reported on Bush's falling ratings 124 times. What about Obama? In the first 8 months of 2014, the same 6-year period as Bush, the media has done 9 stories about Obama's falling approval numbers. Gallup recently discovered that Obama's approval rating hit a record low of 38%. And guess what? Nobody reported it. And Mike says, how do you spell hypocrites? Are you using these following letters at the bottom of the question? Once again, on behalf of the board, we the people of Longview, we want to thank you for your support. Appreciate you coming to these meetings and making them a success. Your helps spur all these great speakers to keep coming in to see our group and be with us at times. We do have 2 donation boxes in the back, one for the church, one for the We the People group. Explained in the past meetings what some of these donations go to. Most recent ones will help with some advertising expenses for the Tea Party that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. We paid entry fees this year for the fireworks show, the balloon race, the Christmas parade, the Cinco de Mayo. Christmas parade's next one coming up after our Tea Party here in October. And of course, we buy the flags and bumper stickers and things like that, aside from some of the donations that we receive. We really thank you for your support. How many of you saw in the paper, I think it's sometime last week, the political cartoon of a man getting arrested for jumping the fence at the White House, but others just keep going free at the border. And that's the truth. Tonight's guest speaker is Mrs. Joanne Fleming. She's got a very long bio, and she's here now and she's ready to go to work for us. So I'll just go ahead and have it come on up. Thank you for being here.